hi, hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I am giving you my June TBR. This is very exciting because this is largely for the Clear Your Shit mini readathon. So if you don't know about Clear Your Shit, I have so many videos about it. Please go look at them. Go look at them and don't ask me. No, I'm just kidding. If you have questions, you can ask them here, but largely there are links down below that talk about Clear Your Shit, and then there is so many posts and so many videos that I've done in the past that explain so much about this readathon that I have been running for almost 6 years now. It's a little terrifying. I've been running this for almost as long as I have been with my partner. Okay, so the way that I do my TBRs that are readathon specific is that I will give you the prompt and editing me will put it here. And you'll also see the book on one of these places to show you the book that I've chosen for the prompt. And I'm going to go through those first, and then I will talk about other books that I am reading next month that are not a part of the readathon. There's not a ton of them, but because I have the personal challenge of trying to read one of every genre every month this year, other than classics, which I'm just doing every other month, I needed to include a couple of books that I didn't want to just throw into a prompt here. I didn't want to just like weasel something in unnecessarily, you know? The other thing here is the goal of the readathon inherently is to read your already owned and unread books. I, however, don't really have any owned unread books, so I generally am trying to get through the books on my TBR and series that I'm in the middle of because those have been my reading goals and that makes the most sense to me. So there are some books on here that have been on my TBR for a really long time and some that have not, that are newer because they happen to fit the prompt for that, but it's largely just books that I'm trying to knock out from my TBR or from my digital library. I own a lot of books digitally, but you guys don't ever see that. So, alright, let's go ahead and get into it. For the first prompt, read your most recently acquired book. For me, I'm going to mark this as my most recently acquired Kindle Unlimited book, which is going to be American Rapture by C.J. Lead. A virus is spreading across America, transforming the infected and making them feral with lust. Sophie, a good Catholic girl, must traverse the hellscape of the Midwest to try and find her family while the world around her burns. Along the way, she discovers that there are far worse fates than dying a virgin. I actually saw this in the horror bookstore that I frequent, and I was very excited when I saw it, but I just didn't have the money to buy it. And then I saw it on Kindle Unlimited, and while I will probably be canceling my Kindle Unlimited after June, I figured this would be a good last hurrah. Next, we have read a book that someone else recommended or gifted to you, and this was a recommendation from Landis, aka Manic Femme. And it was Wanderers by Chuck Wendig, which is like a sci-fi horror, I think. Shayna wakes up one morning to discover that her little sister is in the grip of a strange malady. She appears to be sleepwalking. She cannot talk and cannot be woken up, as she is heading with an inexorable determination to a destination that only she knows. But Shanna and her sister are not alone. Soon they are joined by a flock of sleepwalkers from across America and all on the same mysterious journey. And like Shanna, there are other shepherds who follow the flock to protect their friends and family on the long dark road ahead. For as the sleepwalking phenomenon awakens terror and violence in America, the real danger may not be the epidemic, but the fear of it. With society collapsing all around them and an ultra-violent militia threatening to exterminate them, the fate of the sleepwalkers depends on the unraveling the mystery behind the epidemic. This terrifying secret will either tear the nation apart or bring the survivors together to remake a shattered world. I believe I've read Chuck Wendig before and I enjoyed it. I think I had it as an advanced reader copy or something, and I did enjoy it. So this book is hella long though. I think the audiobook is like 30 hours long or something. It is hella long, so here's hoping I enjoy it. Next up, we have read a book you or someone else might consider cozy or comforting. And this is a book I've heard a lot about. I think it was on like a Goodreads list last year. I'm gonna grab my blanket. I'm sorry, it's cold in my house. I think it was on like a Goodreads list last year. And that is Welcome to the Hyunam Dong Bookshop by Hwang Bo Riem. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I looked up how to pronounce it, but Youngju is burned out. With her high-flying career and demanding marriage and bustling life in Seoul, she knows she should feel successful, but she feels drained. So she feels haunted by an abandoned dream, takes a leap of faith, and leaves her old life behind. She quits her job, she divorces her husband, and then she moves to a residential neighborhood that's outside of the city and opens up a bookshop. The healing is not linear and it's not easy. However, she really takes on the work of being a really good bookseller, and surrounded by friends, writers, and the books that bind them, she begins to write a new chapter in her life. It just sounds like a sweet story, and from reviews I've seen, people did find this very cozy. So to me, it fits the prompt. So here we are. Next up, we have the prompt, read a book you've been putting off the longest despite being curious about it. And I have 2 books here that I swear to God, I've had since their release years. I've had screenshots of them because I thought the covers were so pretty, and then I promptly never read them. What was I doing? So first up, we have We Were Restless Things by Cole Nagamatsu. Last summer, Link Miller drowned on dry land in the woods. His death was ruled a strange accident, but his best friend, Noemi knows the truth. She says that he drowned in an impossible lake that only she can find. Now someone that is claiming to be Link has been contacting her, telling her to stay out of the forest. The secrets become too heavy for her to shoulder on her own, so she turns to Jonas and her new housemate, Amberlynn, who is Link's younger sister. All 3 of them are trying to find their place, and together they start to unravel the truth. And then we've got a middle grade book called Whispering Pines by Heidi Lang. Ray's father vanished without a trace. However, Ray knows that he was taken, and she has told everyone this, but nobody listens to her. So after a year of therapy, her mother just decides they need to have a fresh start, so they move to a new town, hoping that life can be returned to normal. Except, of course, Whispering Pines is not fucking normal. No one knows that better than Caden, who's lived in Whispering Pines his entire life. He's seen more than his fair share of weird, starting with his own family, as the town is the perfect home base for his mother's ghost hunting business. Several kids end up missing, and then they show back up with zombies with their eyes removed, and the locals just brush it off. Okay. But Caden has a dark secret, one that may explain why someone is stealing eyes, and Ray, who knows how it feels not to be believed, may be just the person Caden needs to help him put things right. What do you mean about stealing eyes? I have questions. Next up, we have Free Space, and in the Free Space, I have 2 series that I will be reading. The first is part of the Discworld series from Terry Pratchett, and that is going to be Moving Pictures. The people of Ankh-Morpork and Discworld discover the magic of the silver screen, and it's going to be about that. But what is the dark secret of Holywood Hill? Right. Okay, Terry, go off, bestie. And then I will be finishing the Witch comics. I will be finishing them. I will be reading the last 2 Witch comics, and then I will be done with them. And that is incredible because I have been reading them for such a long time. I'm so excited to be done with them. That's all you need to know. I'm so excited. Next, we have Read a Small or Short Book, and Jesus Christ, I have owned the digital copy of this for such a long time. I will be reading The Lives of Saints by Leigh Bardugo. This is an illustrated replica of The Lives of Saints by Alina Starkov from the Shadow and Bone trilogy. That's it. So, cool. Next prompt is read a book that has a mystery or a big secret involved. I'll be reading One of the Good Guys by Aramina Hall, which is a thriller book. Desperate to escape the ghosts of his failed marriage, Cole upends his life. He leaves London behind for a remote stretch of coast, relishing the respite. Leonora has made the same move for similar reasons. She's just a short walk away from his seaside cottage and preparing for her latest art exhibition. While Cole can't figure out what happened with his last marriage and Leonora is having trouble acclimating to the hostile landscape, they end up becoming friends, kind of, and they forge a connection. However, then two young female activists that were raising awareness about gendered violence disappear while passing through, and Cole and Leonora suddenly find themselves in the middle of a police investigation, and they sort of realize, like, wait, I don't know this person as well as I maybe thought I did. Duh. Next up, we have Read an Exciting Book, in which I will be finishing another series. That will be Blaze Wrath Games, and then its sequel, Dragon Blood Ring by Amparo Ortiz. Lana Torres has always preferred dragons to people. In a few weeks, 16 countries will compete in the Blaze Wrath World Cup, a tournament where dragons and their riders fight for glory in a dangerous relay. Lana longs to represent her native Puerto Rico in the first ever World Cup appearance, and when Puerto Rico's runner, the only player without a dragon steed, is kicked off the team, she's given the chance. But she then discovers that a former Blaze Wrath superstar has teamed up with the Sire, a legendary dragon who's cursed into human form. The safety of the cup is jeopardized. The pair are burning down dragon sanctuaries around the world and refuse to stop unless the cup gets cancelled. All Lana wanted was to represent her country. Now, to do that, she'll have to navigate an international conspiracy that's deadlier than her beloved sport. I think the sequel came out in like 2022, and I've never read it. So here we are. I want to. I will be. And last but not least, we have Read a Book with Green in the Cover, which will also catch me up on the latest book in a series. And that is going to be Adrift in the Currents, Clean and Clear. Adrift in Currents, Clean and Clear by Shauna Maguire. This is the next book in the Every Heart is a Doorway series. And we are following Nadia, who is a drowned girl, essentially. She goes into Beloreka, which is an impossible world that she goes through the door, and chaos ensues, adventures ensue, etc. She finds herself, those kinds of things, as you do. And that is all of the books that I will be reading for Clear Your Shit specifically. Now, is that all the books I will be reading? No. Were you listening in the beginning? I have, I think, 3 other books that I will be reading. Yep, 3 more books that I will be reading just because I couldn't fit them into the prompts, or I didn't feel it was appropriate to fit them into the prompts, and that is because I needed a historical, I needed a nonfiction, and I needed a romance. So here we are. For my nonfiction pick, we've got The Gospel of Wellness by Rena Raphael. This is kind of the story of how wellness kind of sprung from good intentions, but now we are constantly flooded with exploitative offerings. It's just something that becomes overwhelming, and it's based in falsehoods now, and it's toxic and that kind of thing. And it's that conversation. The obsession with wellness has now become not a good thing. Not that it was ever a good thing. Obsession to any degree is not really great. So here we are. Next up, we have The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, which is one of Art's favorite books, apparently, so I will be happy to be reading that. That's going to be my historical pick. 20-year-old Marin Magnusdatter stands on the craggy coast, watching the sea break into a sudden and reckless storm. 40 fishermen, including her brother and father, are drowned and left broken on the rocks below. With the menfolk wiped out, the women of the tiny northern town must fend for themselves. 3 years later, a sinister figure arrives. Absalon Cornet comes from Scotland, where he burns witches in the Northern Isles. He brings with him his young Norwegian wife, Ursa, who is both heady with her husband's authority and terrified by it. In Marin, Ursa sees something she has never seen before: independent women. But Absalom sees only a place untouched by God and flooded with a mighty evil. As Marin and Ursa are pushed together and are drawn to one another in ways that surprise them both, the island begins to close in on them, with Absalom's iron rule threatening its very existence. They're gay. Lesbians. I only know it's lesbians because it was tagged lesbians online. And last but not least, for my romance pick, we have Icarus by Kay Ingram. Icarus Gallagher is a thief. He steals priceless art and replaces it with his father's impeccable forgeries. For years, there's been one guy that has been their specific target, and that's going to be Mr. Black. They have these rules: don't let anybody touch you, don't let anybody close, and don't get caught. However, Icarus does get caught. Not by Mr. Black, but by Helios, who is Mr. Black's son, and lives in the house under house arrest. Instead of turning Icarus in, Helios bargains for something even more dangerous. He just wants friendship. As reluctance and distrust become closeness and something more, they uncover the bars of the gilded cage that has trapped both of the families for years. One, Icarus is determined to escape, but his father's thirst for revenge shows no sign of fading, and soon it may force Icarus to choose the escape he's dreamed of, or the boy he's come to love. Reaching for both could be his greatest triumph, or it could be his downfall. So I guess we'll see. I think this book's gonna make me sad. And that's it. Those are all of the books that I have for June. I'm very excited about June, and I'm excited about Clear Your Shit. I'm so excited about the story that's coming out for Clear Your Shit. I think it's going to be so good, and I think people are going to enjoy it. I hope people enjoy it. Gosh. But yeah, so that's going to be it. That's everything I've got. If you have read any of these books or want to read any of these books, let me know in the comments down below. I love talking about these with you guys, especially because by the time this posts, I may have read a couple of them already, and so I might have opinions already. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. I do post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every single week, except for the first full week of the month because taking breaks are important, yada yada yada. Y'all know the spiel. If you didn't enjoy this video and it's something that I can do better, let me know in the comments down below how I can improve your viewing experience or whatever. I will see you guys later on this week on Thursday for my vlog. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, and do something today to take care of yourselves. Okay, thanks, bye.